Ladies and gentlemen, CocoSports.com proudly presents the Boom Boom Room. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, I am the sexiest man on all of internet wrestling radio. That's right, Boom Boom here, shaking the room, live from the RVA, talking about Richmond, Virginia. Well, WrestleMania is in the books. Got to wait a whole another year now for the biggest event in professional wrestling. And wow, what a hell of a ride it's been. Now, first of all, I want to say on our pay-per-view profits contest, which was supposed to be announced on the Raw review show, but however, someone didn't do their job. Someone just couldn't keep track of score. I don't know who he is, but I'm actually not going to say his name, but it rhymes with Dave Kokotis. So yours truly had to step in and get things tallied up. So I want to say, first of all, congratulations to CS Fitzy. It was a barn burner. It came down between him, the whole damn show, and Forsaken. He pulled ahead. He got all the tiebreakers correct, so he won it by a tiebreaker. So that's why we keep stressing on pay-per-view profits to get your tiebreakers in. So congratulations, CS Fitzy. You squeaked out a good one. I mean, you had some picks like on the surface that seemed off the wall, but apparently you knew something more than the rest of us because wow, you won it. I think let me check my score sheet here. You got 6 of the predictions correct, and then got 3 tiebreakers. So congratulations to you. But anyway, speaking of WrestleMania, I just wanted to kind of share my thoughts about it. First of all, I'm going to be man enough to say, you know what, I was wrong. I was wrong. I thought this WrestleMania would suck. I thought it'd be lackluster. I thought, people would be, rioting in the fucking streets, hashtag cancel the WWE Network. And it wasn't. And so, I know a lot of YouTubers won't admit when they're wrong or they'll try to skirt around it or make excuses. No, Boom Boom was fucking wrong. Okay, hey, I'm a human being. You know what? Congratulations. But I will say it was, I'll agree with Dave's point that he made about this, that if this show is any good, it's going to be because of the talent. It won't be because of the booking. It won't be because of the writing. It's going to be because of the athletes, and I think that's what was accomplished. I think this WrestleMania 31 from San Francisco, was probably going to go down as one of the better WrestleManias. This certainly was not as abysmal as like 29. So overall, I was happy with it. I will say that it did have a big show vibe. I mean, just outdoors. Now, on the West Coast, I don't know if they should do that, do an outdoor pay-per-view on the West Coast when a lot of this stuff depends, on the mystique of the, night and darkness. Prime example was the Undertaker match when they had to hold that one off because there's no way in hell he needs to come out in the daylight. I mean, just look at WrestleMania 9, probably one of, if not the worst WrestleMania. He comes out in the daytime. It's like Batman or Spawn coming out in the daytime. It's like, yeah, they're still kind of cool, but there's that whole mystique and stuff about the darkness that it kind of ruins it if you're out in the daylight. It's like you don't see vampires or werewolves out in the daylight. You don't need to see the Undertaker in some of these matches, and plus the glare. But enough of that. I think it was money well spent. Had a nice presentation, a big stage, the Titantron, the fireworks, and I will say this: they used the fireworks sparingly because of FAA regulations. Because apparently the stadium is in a direct flight path, and so they had to coordinate with the FAA about shooting off fireworks and had to limit that. And I think that worked to WWE's favor because it seemed like when the fireworks went off, it was more special. So let's get on here with the pre-show. I really don't know why we have the pre-show. I think the pre-show should have just been like, a 30-minute, here's a recap of all the matches, here's how everything was kind of set up, who you guys pick, or hell, maybe since it's WrestleMania, expand that to an hour. What I don't understand about WrestleMania is, okay, we're going to have like this huge event, but we're going to take these matches that we'd advertised on the card, and we're going to put them at the pre-show, which technically is not going to count as a part of WrestleMania, but yet it does. And we're going to do these 2 matches. Then we're going to do like this big open, bring out all the celebrities, and I'm just like, you know what? Fucking expand WrestleMania. You're spending the time anyway. I mean, and plus this is, I mean, people have spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for tickets to Mania. You've got people all over the world tuned in on the WWE network. Some people on pay-per-view that don't have the network yet. I don't know who's left, but I'm just like, you know what? If you're gonna have these matches in, just expand it. I mean, don't. I mean, look, you're making things a little bit more complicated than what they should be. Give me like an hour, like super, early. Here's the matches. Here, what do you think? Okay, let's start it off. This is going to be an expanded. I mean, hell, Wrestle Kingdom was what, 4 or 5 hours? I mean, hell, I mean, this is WWE Super Bowl. I think they could get away with it. Now, could they get away with it on like Extreme Rules or Money in the Bank or Payback? I don't think so. But this is goddamn WrestleMania. Expand it. Speaking of the pre-show, I think there was a lot of just missed opportunities. The first one, let's see, the four-way tag team match. Now, I knew that the Usos, I think it was Jay, who was injured, so they worked like an angle where Cesaro threw him into the retaining wall, and they had to escort him out, and so it was just Jimmy on his own, or it could be vice versa. Believe me, even fucking commentary got him fucking mixed up, so that's what confused me even more. Is I was like, but Jimmy, I thought that was Jay, or no Jay, but it was that Jimmy. So Uso number one and Uso number two. Uso number one had a shoulder injury, so they had Cesaro do a spot where he was going out. He yanked Uso number one off the apron, threw him into the retaining wall, and he had to leave, and so it's just down to Uso number two, which I'm pretty sure was Jimmy. One thing, I think what they could have done is have Naomi step up and be the tag team partner. I know this sounds kind of out of left field, but it gets somebody else into the match, and I think it creates a good. I think that could have created a great WrestleMania moment. And she's like, well, he's out, but and it works better because she's married to Jimmy. So, I'll be your tag team partner, and you could do like one spot. I mean, there's like 3 other tag teams in there, so you can cover this stuff up. That would have been a great WrestleMania moment. I mean, Naomi just jumps up on the apron, like, fuck it, and sticks her hands out for a tag, gets the hot tag from her husband, goes in and clears house. I mean, and then all you got to do to get out of that situation is have somebody else, reach in, boom, tap her shoulder, tagged himself in, there you go. And she doesn't have to do another thing, and there's no male on female violence. Because if there's anything that I've learned, it's female on male violence is not only socially acceptable, in some cases it can be fucking hilarious. But if you do male on female violence, yeah, that's just like there's a fine fucking line you have to walk. Just ask Chris Dickinson and Kimberly about that. So, wow. I think there could have been maybe a little spot that she could have done, maybe hit a rear view, then got, tagged out by another tag team, and the Usos still lose the match. Cesaro and Kidd still retain the titles, and I think everybody walked away happy. And plus, you got a little something that was unexpected. Definitely another thing that they fucking screwed the pooch on was this Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. First of all, I will say smart move by WWE to put this on the pre-show and over as opposed to the Divas Tag Team title match, or not tag team title match, Divas Tag match. Because after you're talking about, okay, hashtag give Divas a chance, there's a lot of scrutiny here. Like, you're promoting the Divas on the E! Network with Total Divas, showing the personalities, but there's complaints that you're not letting them wrestle. You're not letting those personalities shine. You're treating them like second-class citizens, and I think to move that Divas tag match to the pre-show would have been counterproductive. So I will say smart move to WWE. I kind of like what they did. I like, them throwing out Curtis Axel first. I like that. I just wish, the things I wish they would have done different with this is, I wish they would have had Hideo Itami at least go down to the Final Four. Not saying he had to win it, not saying he had to look like $1 billion, but he needed to be in there longer so that way people would go like, well, who is that? Oh, that's Hideo Itami. Well, who's Hideo Itami? Oh, he wrestles on NXT. Well, what is NXT? What's our developmental program? You can see that on the WWE Network. You need to check this guy out. Have him do a few spots. Have him do the, he's not necessarily saying he had to do the GTS, but do that, like, fucking drop kick where he just, like, catapults you into the turnbuckle. I mean, something like that. And then you can have him, get eliminated, just in a blaze of glory, just something. And I still think Sandow should have won it. I mean, I think that was the perfect WrestleMania moment. It's him and Miz versus The Big Show. Miz is like, come on, no. And it's like, I'm going to do this right. And he eliminates Miz. And then it's just him versus the Giant. And, and he reaches down and he throws out the Giant. And, oh, my God, there you go. There's this huge WrestleMania moment. But, no, they screwed the pooch and they wanted to go to the, they went to the default. They won. Okay, Big Show won. Okay, so the fuck what? Now what? He's still a bitch in the fucking authority. He's not making any plays, at least not now, towards any titles, especially not the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So what's the point? Okay, he gets a big trophy. Congratulations. Oh, you get to brag about how some of the authority won big. Well, okay, Kane didn't. J&J Security are still looking like chumps. I know Rollins walked away with the belt, but still, I mean, it doesn't really benefit anybody. I mean, it's just, I think Sandow would have been the better pick. I know, yes, he was my pick to win the Honor of the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And no, this is not sour grapes, but I just think things could have been done a lot better. All right, but as far as the best matches on the card, I'm going to say obviously the opener, the Intercontinental title match was a good one. I think the Undertaker, Bray Wyatt was better than what I thought. The main event was a hell of a lot better than what I thought. So those really stand out in my mind even days after this event. As far as the worst matches go, I know I'm going to take some heat for this, but fuck it, I don't give a shit. Just Sting and Triple H. I was scratching my head for most of that. I just didn't. I knew what they were going for. I just don't think they really executed. Nothing. I mean, the Divas tag match was okay. I mean, there was really nothing that was just a complete total stinker on there. Let's see. As far as that's good as far as worst matches. They did have some cheesy moments. I think the Authority was extremely cheesy. Okay, I'll go back to the Sting Triple H match as my example of something cheesy. Okay, they had Sting come out to the taiko drums and Triple H with the whole Terminator thing, so he's like the cerebral Terminator assassin. And to me, it was just that was just like over the top. And he comes out and does this thing. Then they bring out DX. Then they bring out the NWO. And I know, I was like, yes, I should be cheering for this. I should be marking out. I should just be like, wow, this is amazing. The D-Generation X and NWO in the same ring at the same time. Would have been awesome back in fucking 1998. Would have been awesome back in 1999. 2015, not so much. They gimmicked the hell out of Triple H's sledgehammer because apparently you can break a sledgehammer's handle with a baseball bat. And yeah. And then Triple H takes up the piece of the sledgehammer and hits Sting with it, gets the 1, 2, 3, then has the Gauntlet reach out and shake his hand, and Sting shakes it. And Sting looked fucking stupid doing that. It's like, dude, it wasn't like he beat him. He wasn't like Triple H beat him clean. Hey, you were the better man. Okay, I respect you. They tried to build it up as this whole WCW versus WWE that's 15 years past its prime, where nobody gives a shit about it anymore. The only thing I'm surprised about in this match is the lack of broken arms. I'm surprised all those old motherfuckers in there did not break their own goddamn arms, jerking them fucking selves off. I mean, my God, this is all that was. It was a giant fucking circle jerk. I mean, you bring out the Outlaws, you bring out X-Pac, you bring out Hulk Hogan, you bring out Scott Hall, you bring out Kevin Nash. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, my God, they just might as well whipped out their cocks and just started beating it. Like, oh, this is best for business. Hey, remember this is back when we were all relevant. I think it could have been done a little bit better. I'm not necessarily opposed to Triple H winning the match, considering Sting's going to be doing more. And if it furthers something, absolutely. I do think, let's see, as far as other cheesy moments, the Authorities showdown with The Rock, I did like it. I did like the introduction of Ronda Rousey coming in because she's fucking hot. And that somebody please tell me who the hell this other I know the Four Horsewomen, I know she's one of them, but like one of the Four Horsewomen there, she's like, okay, I can't say she's huge because that's like fucking all of them. But she was wearing like a sleeveless shirt. She had tats going down both sides. She came out with the Red Dragon in the Ring of Honor 13th anniversary pay-per-view in Vegas with Red Dragon against the Young Bucks. I don't know why, but that woman fucking turns me on. I have no idea why, so please tell me who the fuck that is, because she's fucking hot, and I'm taking this in the wrong direction. But anyway, I think that went on a little too long, for at least for my taste. I did like it. I mean, in fact, they did a lot. I think they did a great use of celebrity involvement. I mean, they had The Rock, Ronda Rousey, Aloe Black saying America the Beautiful. I intentionally skipped over Travis Barker, Skylar Grey, and Kid Ink during their performance because I'm just whatever. I want to see fucking wrestling. I understand that they're trying to, get the mainstream in there, and I think they did that. ESPN. I mean, they covered WrestleMania, and everybody there had a fucking straight face. They had Roman Reigns on. They brought out Paul Heyman. And of course, Brenda Beadle is a or is it Michelle? Anyway, she's a huge WWE fan. She got a shirt there, and then they covered the whole breaking news about Brock Lesnar, re-signing with WWE and closing the door on his MMA career. I do think they're planning to kind of get to the mainstream. In the short term, it's working out. I mean, to us wrestling fans, we're kind of frustrated with it, but to be honest, their fucking plan's working because ESPN's covering them. They're covering WrestleMania. They're not, snickering and like making a joke out of it. They're actually treating it seriously, so that's kind of good to see. I mean, they're treating it like an actual genuine sporting event. Another cheesy moment is Daniel Bryan. It's not anything Daniel Bryan did. I think, in my opinion here, one of the cheesiest moments is after Daniel Bryan wins the Intercontinental title, which, in my opinion, is a fucking pity fuck. Hey, I just call it like I see it. It's a pity fuck. It's, they're not going to let him get anywhere near the fucking World Heavyweight title, but they know that the fans love him, so they gave him the Intercontinental title. Why? Because they got to get him out of that World Heavyweight title picture. Because the obvious question is, kayfabe-wise, is Daniel Bryan's owed a title shot. He never lost that title. And he's come back. He's never got his rematch. So logically, it's like, well, why doesn't he just challenge whoever wins out of WrestleMania? Well, now, okay, we got an out for him now. They give him the Intercontinental title. It's, yeah, you main evented last year. You stole the show last year, but you know what? We're going to put the Intercontinental title on you, but it's not as good. I guess the only good thing about it is it makes him a Grand Slam champion. This means he has won everything that he can win in the WWE, with the exception of the Divas title, because, well, frankly, he's got a Y chromosome. He's won the United States title. He's won the tag team championships with Kane. I think he even had it with CM Punk at one point. He's won obviously the Intercontinental title, the WWE he's won the World Heavyweight title, the WWE Championship, and the undisputed WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So he's won everything you can win. I think he's got to win. I think to really kind of complete his career, he needs to win the Royal Rumble. He needs to win a King of the Ring tournament, and I think that'll do it. But anyway, he gets done, and then he comes out and shakes hands with Pat Patterson, and then Roddy Piper comes up just when I think I got all the answers. You change all the questions. And then you have, you had Ricky Steamboat come out there and botch the Macho Man's, catchphrase. It's not whoa yet. It's oh yeah. So, wow. To me, it was just like, hey, everybody, let's get all these legends in here. Let's throw some support. Let's get the fans behind this Daniel Bryan kid. We give him the rub here. Maybe the fans will like him. No, they already like him. I feel like that was just the pity fuck. It was, hey, let's give him the championship. Let's give him the rub from the legends, and are you happy? He's got gold on him, huh? Oh, even look, even John Cena, and I'll get to, fuck it. Let's just talk about his match. I think Rusev had the greatest fucking entrance ever. I mean, come on, they had fucking Russian military out there. They had howitzers, big Russian flags. They came out to the Russian national anthem. There's Lana with the U.S. title, has this little, 6 Russian soldiers carrying the Russian flag behind her. You had fucking Rusev came out in a goddamn tank. Fuck it. He wins the goddamn internet. He comes out in a fucking tank. Oh, do you think John Cena, coming out to that Mustang at Ford Field in Detroit was good? No. It wasn't a fucking tank. Rusev comes up with a fucking tank with a goddamn machine gun on top of it. That's awesome. Best entrance. And then you have, hey, John Cena wins the title, wins the United States title. Most people are saying, well, it's because they want to elevate these other titles. Well, fuck it. Why are they starting now? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that they're supposedly starting, but I think they're not doing it to elevate the titles. I think they're doing it because they need to create a logical reason, because when you talk about the main event in WWE, there's two things that come to mind. It's Daniel Bryan and John Cena. Love him or hate him, they're always going to come up. He's like, well, why don't they get like the title shot? Well, now because they're defending their own respective titles on the mid card. That was clearing the path. That's kind of clearing the path for the main event for people like Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar. Now they're going to bring up Randy Orton here. Now you got two of your big names. Now here's the reason why they're not in this title picture is because they're off defending their own respective belts, titles. I know championships. No, people are like send me a shit ton of fucking hate mail over this. Fuck that. I just think that was just think it was absolutely amazing. I give Rusev credit with in my opinion, the best entrance of the night, and that's of course in my humble opinion. Okay, real quick, let's going to get to some questions and comments, then I'll jump on the rest of this analysis here. Again, Ewok from Indoors saying congratulations to CS Fitsky. Let's see, Ewok, he also says hello. Well, hello to you too, sir. Then he asked, I don't see why we couldn't have more male versus female matches in WWE. It certainly would be as extreme as Dickinson versus Lee, and I don't see it ever being as extreme as that was. No, I don't think it was. I mean, it's just, here's the deal, Ewok. We live in a very, I don't care where you live at in the world, we live in a very politically correct era. And when you do man versus woman, you have to walk a fine line. Because if it's kind of like Home Alone, in grim movie from like 1990. It's funny when an 8-year-old kid beats up on big mean burglars with booby traps, throws paint cans in their face and hits them with a blowtorch and makes them step on broken Christmas ornaments. That's funny. But if you have the burglars beat up the 8-year-old kid, then it's fucking terrifying. Same concept here. If you have a woman beat up on a man, it's funny because now he's emasculated. That's funny. But if you have a man getting any kind of offense in on a woman, he's bullying her, he's, it's misogynistic, it's, he's a chauvinist, it's all kinds of different things. So the best example I've seen of that is Lucha Underground. Of that, it's like there is man-on-woman violence, but it's not so over the top. It's not like, okay, it's in the spirit of competition. He performed a wrestling maneuver. This, and the woman kind of pops back up or sells the injury a little bit. She's hurt, but she's not crippled. And with WWE being a publicly traded company, and plus right now with the whole Ray Rice debacle, beat up his then fiance on an elevator, and then that sparked like this whole social media campaign, not another excuse, not another woman, whatever. And there was a lot of scrutiny on the NFL. Well, with that being in the the public conscious right now, I don't think even if it was scripted, even if it was everybody was on board and everybody was and the guys were completely just gentle, and selling for the women, I just think you would get some backlash on it. That's just something WWE wouldn't see. Let's see. Joe on Facebook, tell Coco to stop being a lazy fag and host more shows. Will do, sir. Coco, stop being a lazy fag and host more shows. They miss you. The people love you. I'd like to thank SOS Wrestle Talk for favoring our tweet, as well as Marcus NY15 for favoring the show on Twitter. Much love, gentlemen. All right. Just keep your questions and comments coming in. I'll just keep trucking along here. Let's just talk about, let's see, the celebrity involvement. I think that was great. The reason I think that was great is just it kind of added a whole big fight atmosphere. You had The Rock come back, Ronda Rousey, someone who's extremely relevant right now with the UFC, undefeated. I like Ronda Rousey for a different reason. This is just me being a little biased here, but I kind of like the fact that a judoka is kicking ass in UFC. I studied judo for a little bit when I was in college, and only reason I quit is because my sensei went back to Japan. So I was taught by the Japanese, therefore I was taught the correct way, how to perform judo. Wish I could pick that back up. Anybody knows any any dojos here around the Richmond area? Let me know, because I'd like to pick that up again. That was actually a lot of fun. Um, it's for you know what, and you're talking about some genuinely shock moments. The whole okay, fuck it, the main event. You know, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. You know, I remember I said, you know what, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to, you know, just see this is just going to be horrible. And then Brock Lesnar resigned. And I was like, okay, well, maybe they're going to change. In fact, I even said on pay-per-view profits, no, this is a red herring. They're going to swerve us. They're using this to get some more buys, to get some more eyeballs on the screen, put a little seed of doubt. And I think they're going to stick to their plan. Well, they didn't. They had, I mean, the story they told was that Roman Reigns wasn't ready. Oh, imagine that. And Brock Lesnar just beat the crap out of this guy that they've spent like the past 3 months building up. Just absolutely destroyed him, made him look like a fucking pogue right there in the middle of the ring in front of God and everybody. But the other story was that Reigns wouldn't give up. He wouldn't. He kept kicking out. He kept coming back for more. He was smiling. He was like, "No, is that all you got? Come on, come back." You know, and kept coming back for more. I mean, all he did was his Superman punch and his spear because that's all he has. I mean, no, literally, that's all he's got. John Cena's got the 5 moves of doom, 6 if he's feeling froggy that day. Reigns has got, well, he's got 3 if you count the hair flip. So, and I remember I went to work on Monday because I get up super fucking early, and I got into work, and you know, and I said, you know what, let me just check the results, and I was like, oh, here's your winner and new WWE champion, Seth Rollins. I was like, what the fuck? So I had to go back and watch it, and I love how they pulled that off. It just made a lot of sense. Oh, and by the way, yes, I'm well aware about the audio. Go back and listen to it. You hear Seth Rollins thank Roman Reigns. It was out of character. You know, it was real in real world. As he was pinning him, but by the time you hear it too, you can hear him say "Thank you very much," and he wins the title. I think that was the shocker that WWE needed to have. Now, here comes the question: did they work us, brother? Did they, you know, did they really, you know, did they work us? Was this the setup all along? Did you know, Brock Lesnar get the blade? I mean, there's a lot of questions surrounding this, which I think is actually good. All right, to answer those and I've got nothing to base this off of. This is just pure opinion. I don't think they worked us. I think they genuinely had the intention. In fact, Roman Reigns' fucking family's fucking furious. They were under the impression that he was going to win, and they can't believe that Seth Rollins got out the champion. So you know, they're pissed, real fucking world pissed off. I don't think they worked us. I think the original plan was to have Roman Reigns win the title. And even though there's like a saying that, you know, there's no such thing as bad publicity as long as they spell your name right. And I think they kind of realized that with the Royal Rumble and then at Fastlane. And then I think, yes, I actually think that Brock Lesnar re-signing changed it up a little bit, because why not have Reigns win and fend off Seth Rollins? I mean, I think they had to do something where they wouldn't get their asses booed off the air in front of God and everybody and 76,000 people in San Francisco. So they went in and brought in Seth Rollins, who apparently did not know until they were doing the Ronda Rousey authority segment that they were telling him, no, keep your shit on. You're winning the title tonight. During the match, go out there and cash it in. So I was genuinely shocked, and it felt good. It felt good to get a genuine surprise now and then. As far as the blade job goes, I don't know. Was it a blade job? I mean, there's a video going around on the internet, and again, I've seen the same things that you've seen. You see Roman Reigns go to the outside. The referee hands him. Apparently, appears to hand him something. You could say later on the match that Roman Reigns may have slipped Lesnar a razor, because as soon as his head hit like the exact right spot on that ring post, maybe like a piece of wire or something, or a screw or something caught him in the forehead, but he's bleeding. WWE maintains that he didn't blade, and I would be almost inclined to believe them, except for the fact that they bend the rules when it comes to Brock Lesnar. And this is part of the reason why Brock Lesnar won my Hardy Award. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, when we hand out our year-end review awards, we have the Hardy Award, which basically means it's the most popular wrestler that you hate, that you absolutely just can't stand. And for me, it was Brock Lesnar. Um, my problems with Lesnar is I don't hate the guy personally. In fact, I think he's pretty. I mean, I think he's smart. He's smart as fucking hell. He's a damn good businessman. He's a freak athlete. So don't get me wrong on that one. But it's just I look at it this way: either the rules have to apply to everybody, or they don't apply to anybody. Here's Lesnar, who only wrestled 3-4 matches last year, gets to hold the belt, and but he's a big draw. Okay. But I'm thinking like kayfabe wise, well, why can't Seth Rollins only defend the belt every 3 months, defend it quarterly? It's like, well, you let Brock Lesnar do it. Well, he's a big draw. Well, I'm a big draw too. Well, no, who says I'm not? You got to give me a chance. I'm the champion now. I'm gonna draw fans now. And you gave Lesnar a 7-figure deal. I want a 7-figure deal because we're going kayfabe wise here. It's why is Brock Lesnar allowed to make his own rules, and why is he allowed to break the rules? Why is he allowed? Why the rules not apply to him? This is like fucking high school all over again. But do I think he bladed? I don't know. I'm looking at it. It looks like he did. Not saying he did, but it really, if you watch the video, man, it really looks like he did. And it really wouldn't surprise me that WWE let him or Brock Lesnar did it on his own. Well, actually, no, he wouldn't have done that shit on his own because there was the referee allegedly handing over the razor blade. So if that's the case, and to me, and then WWE's like, oh, well, no, that was an accident. We're trying to steer away from blood. We're trying to get away from that. It was just an accident. His head clearly hits the ring post. It's live entertainment. It's live. Crazy things happen. The show must go on. So I can actually picture, WWE, just going, no, he didn't blade. He just, look, an accident with the ring post. So. What do I give it overall? I think it was good. I think I would give it maybe a 7.5, maybe 8 out of 10. Pretty good. Oh, and thanks to the Jam Brower for liking and tweeting our video. Thank you very much. Much love to you, ma'am. So where do we go from here? Well, we went into Monday Night Raw, and overall impressions with Raw, which I think was a pretty decent follow-up. I just think they lost it at the fucking end. I think it was a good show, good hot crowd, and they just couldn't quite get it at the end. They did good. They did great the first hour. Second hour was still pretty good. Third hour, about half of it was good. The main event just fucking sucked. Anything that takes out Michael Cole is awesome in my book. Anything that takes out that god-awful commentary team is great. They brought out Byron Saxton. Yeah, I know some people aren't very big on him, but I think he does pretty good. He does a pretty good job with NXT. And, the only way he's going to get better is if you got to throw him in the fire. You have to. If your quarterback's going to get you better, you got to get his ass out there, and he's going to have to take a few fucking sacks. That's how you get better. And then they brought out Jerry Lawler to kind of back him up, and then of course on SmackDown they brought out Tom Phillips, and I think it was great because you don't have Michael Cole talking about social media, what's trending here, and then they're talking about, oh, what color do you think John Cena's new T-shirt's going to be this week, and JBL going off like Foghorn Leghorn, talking about, oh, these guys ain't done nothing, they ain't nothing. Oh man, this is great. Hey, anybody want to know what I had for dinner tonight? Oh, they actually, these guys are actually talking about the matches, trying to put the guys over. So definitely a breath of fresh air, and anything that keeps them over. They did. Only thing I didn't like is the injury they teased with Michael Cole was the same injury that killed El Hijo del Perro Aguio Jr. or Agallo. Look, my Spanish fucking sucks, and I got a thick Southern accent, so bear with me, kids. That's the same injury that killed El Hijo del Perro. I kind of think that was tasteless. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Probably not, but either way around, it looked pretty horrible. And I did like the fact that they brought out like a new commentary team. The Lesnar suspension, I like that. He destroyed it. He still looks strong. He didn't lose. He's furious. His anger got the best of him. He's suspended indefinitely. So that gives him an excuse to be off TV for a while, so he can go work out and be like $1,000,000 and be fresh as a daisy and come back and wrestle. And it's like, yeah, of course, of course he's gonna be, whatever, Seth Rollins or whoever the fucking champion is. Yeah, he had 3 fucking months to prepare for it. I had to wrestle a full-time fucking schedule because kayfabe. That's something I really wish they would address. Is like, well, Brock Lesnar's a big superstar. It's like, yeah, I understand that what's going on in the real world, but kayfabe wise, think about that. I mean, could a WWE champion, could Seth Rollins or Randy Orton or John Cena or Daniel Bryan or Stone Cold Steve Austin or Hulk Hogan go, yeah, you know what? I'm a big superstar now. I'm only going to defend my belt maybe every, quarterly, maybe biannually. That's it, because I say so, and the company fucking let them get away with it because they say so. I don't care how fucking big and bad Brock Lesnar is. He's not above a fucking lawsuit. I'm just saying. That it's just little bitty things like that bother me. The NXT debuts, they had some. You see, Kalisto. He came out with Sin Cara, part of the Lucha Dragons, in that 8-man tag match. Personally, I think he had the best debut because we saw a little bit more of. We didn't see that much of him. He was on screen for a lot longer. The Jan Brower is a guy. Well, I'm sorry, Jan. I mean, yeah. Okay, whatever, Dave. Anyway, Kalisto, he looked great. I mean, he was doing his tilt-a-whirl. He did that great handstand, bouncing off Cesaro's shoulders. I think it was a great work by everybody. A lot of those guys there came up from NXT, I think with the exception of Kofi Kingston. I think he was in Deep South, but rest of them all kind of came up through NXT in one shape, form, or fashion. So I think that was a great showcase for NXT, whether WWE knew it or not. Now, Adrian Neville, I kind of wish they would include his first name because Neville doesn't sound all that intimidating. It's Neville, followed up by his tag team partner, Reginald, and Archibald. And here comes their manager, Gaylord. Come on. I mean, come on, WWE. I mean, I know you like to shorten things from Antonio Cesaro to Cesaro, from Biggie Langston to Big E, and then from Alexander Rusev to just Rusev. But I really think, like, you need to have Adrian Neville. It rolls off the tongue so much better than just Neville. He did look good. His match was short, and it needed to be. It needed to be short, sweet, and to the point. And he beat Curtis Axel, someone he'd worked with before in NXT. I think that's maybe the reason why he went down there, so they could kind of work with each other, kind of have a couple matches, get used to each other. But I think it was great. I mean, he showed off. I mean, dude, he looked. I mean, he was cut. He was very athletic. The Red Arrow looked amazing on Raw. So props to WWE for that. The Intercontinental title match between Cena and Ambrose was great. I was shocked that it actually had a clean finish. A little bit of a handshake there at the end. Interested to see what's going on. I'm just kind of shocked that they actually had the balls to have a clean finish because normally they don't like to do that. WWE, there's got to be a count out. There's got to be disqualification. There's got to be outside interference. This one they had a clean ending, and I think WWE should get into that more. As far as the tag team match, I want to give a shout out to AJ for wearing a Bayley T-shirt. And Bayley, of course, is part of the Screaming Antelopes, my fantasy wrestling team. Fuck yeah. The vulgar chant with the Bellas. It was the chant was Nikki sucks Cena, Cena sucks, and apparently that kind of drew the ire. And I'm just like, dude, you're a bad guy. The crowd's going to do whatever they can to get under your skin. At least they're chanting something, And did the crowd have to be that vulgar? And I'm not even going to say the whole crowd. It was like a vocal minority there. Did they have to be that vulgar? No, but you know what? If someone, if you're a bad guy, and it doesn't matter if you're wrestling in a fucking barn or armory or high school gymnasium or Madison Square Garden, if you've got people fucking pissed off where they give you the finger until you go fuck yourself, congratulations, you've done your job as a heel. One way or another, you've done it. So, Sheamus returns. He looked fucking stupid as hell, but I guess that's why Rob loves him, because he's loving Sheamus more than a straight man should, even though I'm not really digging the whole mohawk, dreadlock beard. I guess it works, because People, that's all people were talking about. And like I said, at the end, they just dropped the ball with the main event. I'm sorry. Can we just not have like the Authority versus anybody for the main event? Can we just do something different? I mean, just anything different. Have like a fucking title defense. Have another fucking defend the tag team titles. Fuck it, I'll settle for a Divas match at the end. I mean, I'm just tired of the Authority versus whomever, and it all degenerates and breaks down to like a brawl that ends in a disqualification. Oh my God! Can we just please get through that? I mean, that's just to do something different. I'm kind of burnt out on that. But overall, been pleased with the past few days of WWE. Can they keep up the momentum? You know what? I'm going to say no. I really don't think they can because you always get to this post WrestleMania lull. Every year it happens. It's like the next month, right around the time Extreme Rules hits or whatever the follow up is, Backlash, whatever the follow up pay per view is. You always get that lull, and the ratings start to go down, and they apparently stop giving a shit. And then it gets the summertime, and they try to come up with that red hot summer angle. And that's when it picks up again, and it just kind of goes into this whole malaise again. So I'm thinking history's going to repeat itself, no matter what you say. But that's my overall impressions of it. You can always check it out here. Of course, you can always check out our reviews at kokosports.com. That's KOCOsports.com. It's your home for all combat sports. That includes boxing, mixed martial arts, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling, sumo wrestling, taekwondo, kickboxing, judo. If you can get your nose broke doing it, we got you covered there on the site. You also need to check out our news and gossip section, which is updated by Rob daily. Check out our very popular video on demand section. And the best part about kokosports.com is it's absolutely 100 positively free. And this is going to do it for me and for my partner Dave Coco. This is Boom Boom signing off. I am over. Boop, 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 boop.